What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so let's talk about this. So, of course, we all know what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. Of course, Shannon Sharpe, uh, big sports media personality, former NFL player, Hall of Famer. I think most of us remember him for his stints on the NFL Network, and then for several years, I guess 7 years, I think, he co-hosts Undisputed with Skip Bayless. But he's of course gone on to bigger and better things. He has uh, his own show, Club Shay Shay, on YouTube. He has another podcast that he hosts, co-hosts with Chad Ochocinco, Nightcap. And of course, he makes appearances on ESPN, on First Take in particular. But now, especially with ESPN, that's all in jeopardy as he has been sued for $50 million by a woman who was previously unknown. Now it's been revealed that she is 19-year-old Gabriela Zuniga. And I believe she's an OnlyFans model. And she accuses Shannon Sharpe of a lot of different things, including rape, assault, I take it, battery, emotional distress, all types of different legal leases. And, me personally, I think it's, for the most part, a bunch of malarkey. I think it's a bunch of poppycock. But, what I think and what the public at large thinks can be two totally different things. And it doesn't help when you have friends like Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith talked about this on his YouTube show, the Stephen A. Smith Show. And basically, he didn't give his unwavering support like he did for his other friends, people like Jerry Jones and Dana White and, or even completely omitting to even talk about certain situations, like with the owner of the New York Knicks. His name eludes me at this moment. I think it's is it something Donovan? But you know I'm going with this, right? With some people, he says, that's not the Jerry Jones I know. That's not the Dana White I know. That's not the Skip Bayless I know. But with people like Shannon Sharpe and, people like, his former colleague, Michael Irvin, that's a PR matter. That's out of my hands. That's up to people who are above my pay grade. We all have bosses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whenever it's a situation where he needs to go out there and stand up for a brother, all of a sudden it's out of his hands. But he goes out of his way to step in the line of fire for others. And that is why Stephen A. Smith is persona non grata when it comes to most of the community. When you look at a lot of the issues when it comes to our community, he's on the wrong side. I mean, for goddamn sake, man, the guy just interviewed Megyn Kelly. If that don't tell you the type of mentality that Stephen A. Smith has, Megyn Kelly, who, come on, man. But anyway, from the language that I've heard Stephen A. Smith use in that that segment when he was talking about Shannon Sharpe and his issues, it sounds a lot like, I don't know about getting fired at this time, but it sounds a lot like Stephen A. Smith knows something. He knows something. And it's the same dude that said that he tries to make his bosses a lot of money, and he likes to try to get the coins or the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? He likes to make his bosses as a bigger platter of biscuits as he can possibly give, and he wants the crumbs from it. So that tells you who he is. He's a company man. He's a house ninja. And although Shannon Sharpe, you know what I'm saying, says things that I disagree with, and I sometimes think he's on the wrong side of a lot of different issues. I do know that house ninjas don't like competition. And I personally believe that there's a lot of professional jealousy when it comes to Stephen A. Smith. Because if you know he has jealousy toward Pat McAfee, you know how he feel about Shannon Sharpe. Now he'll use a Shannon Sharpe for his own personal, benefit as far as ratings or whatever, maybe expanding his audience or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to, I'm telling you, when it comes to the the House Ninja supremacy, Stephen A. Smith gonna look out for himself. So I suspect that Shannon Sharpe is going to probably be suspended. He's probably going to be suspended pending the outcome of this whole situation. Probably similar to what happened with Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin was suspended and then quietly fired by ESPN for really no reason at all. No reason at all. And with the culture that we're in now, the climate, the Me Too climate, and you look at the direction that ESPN has been going with the girl power stuff. Yeah, Shannon probably is going to be eliminated from ESPN, man. And it's sad because I'm seeing a lot of people all of a sudden now, like I said they would, because these dudes out here today, this generation of so-called black men that are being raised now are worse than some of the most egregious WSs I've ever encountered. They literally, as I've said before, are WSs dipped in chocolate and caramel. They have the same mentality, but they get to voice their racism toward their own kind because they look like us. So it leaves us flummoxed and confused, like we're bewildered, like what in the world? Man, they're not our friends, man. They're our enemies. We got enemies all over the place, man, on both sides. But what I was getting to was now all of a sudden I'm hearing people calling Shannon Sharpe a predator and a pervert because he's 50 something dating a 19-year-old, right? But these same clowns will give Bill Belichick high fives for being 70 something dating a 24, 25-year-old. You see what I'm saying, man? I remember when I was a kid, George Burns, who lived to be 100 years old, was in his 90s, and he was dating 20-year-olds. But he was getting high fives for that because that's the ultimate in masculinity, to still be able to pull a girl or a chick in her physical prime when you're beyond your prime. But now we got a generation and a culture that promotes hating, promotes coonery and buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? Somehow Shannon Sharpe supposed to limit himself to women between the ages of 52 and 58. Meanwhile, these clowns, they love to chase themselves what they call a cougar. But, you know what I'm saying, when a male equivalent do the same thing, all of a sudden he's a predator. Or I'm sorry, when he's a black male. Because when you're Josh Giddey, these same clowns put on their reading glasses and look up laws, old ancient archaic laws to justify what you're doing, dating an underage girl. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Stephen A. Smith is a piece of work. Uh, you know what I'm saying? At this point, now I kind of don't care that LeBron James did what he did to you. Maybe he should have. Clown.